ternyata tak bersetujuan oleh pihak industri dan calon pengguna pusat. Maka dari itu pada hari Rabu tanggal 14 Juli 2021 di Gedung Departemen Politalang, program studi baru teknologi pakan ternak menyelenggarakan pembahasan dan evaluasi kurikulum bersama industri. Kegiatan ini dihadiri oleh Dewan Penyantun, Wakil Direktur 1 dan 3, dan dosen-dosen program studi agroindustri dan teknologi pakan ternak. Turut berhadir pada kegiatan kali ini perwakilan dari industri tanah laut, CT Berkah Group, PT Medion Adika Bakti, PT Japra Polri, dan unit pelaksana teknis BPTU HPT Pelihari. Kegiatan pembahasan dan evaluasi kurikulum diawali dengan sambutan Wakil Direktur 1 Politalang, Pak Firdaus. Ia mengatakan salah satu hal yang perlu dilaksanakan pada saat pemilihan program studi baru adalah evaluasi perangkat pembelajaran, yaitu yang paling utama adalah kurikulum. Berikutnya sambutan oleh Dewan Penyantun Politalang, Dr. Sahabudin Halim. Dalam sambutannya ia mengatakan program studi teknologi pakan ternak adalah salah satu prodi yang sudah lama dirancangkan saat awal berdirinya Politalang. Hal ini dikarenakan kebutuhan utama masyarakat di Kabupaten Tanah Laut adalah dunia peternakan. Dewan Penyantun juga mengungkapkan bahwa program Merdeka Belajar saat ini berkaitan langsung serta menjadi peluang besar dengan adanya peran dari dunia industri. Dan nantinya mahasiswa akan menerima pendidikan di kampus dan juga praktek langsung di industri minimal selama 1 tahun. Diskusi pembahasan dan evaluasi kurikulum dipandu langsung oleh Ketua Program Studi Teknologi Pakan Ternak Politalang, Dwi Sandri. Di dalam sesi pembahasan tersebut turut dijelaskan landasan sejarah dibentuknya program studi teknologi pakan ternak, yang dalam hal ini Kabupaten Tanah Laut memiliki salah satu peternakan yang berpotensi paling besar di Kalimantan Selatan. Draft kurikulum yang telah dirancang oleh seluruh dosen program studi teknologi pakan ternak turut dipresentasikan. Perwakilan dari industri yang berhadir di tempat maupun yang mengikuti secara daring, masing-masingnya dimintakan arahan dan masukan terhadap draft kurikulum yang telah disusun. Syamsurizal selaku perwakilan dari CP Berkah Group menyampaikan rasa terima kasih dan apresiasi. Ia juga menyampaikan harapan terhadap dilaksanakannya kegiatan evaluasi.
Hari ini acara evaluasi tentang kurikulum dari program studi. Terima kasih sebelumnya. Sedikit masukan yang telah kami lakukan bisa sedikit kita berikan, bisa memberi manfaat, memberi nanti terciptanya kurikulum yang pas, yang bisa bermanfaat untuk pembelajaran mahasiswa dan juga nanti outputnya kualitas mahasiswa juga bisa benar-benar
Sering-sering cuci tangan, gunakan sabun, pakai masker, menutup hidung mulut. Jangan lupa jaga jarak saat ketemu orang. Makan yang bergizi, jaga kesehatan. Anak Indonesia, anak...
Jangan kendor, jaga kesehatan.
Sering-sering cuci tangan, gunakan sabun, pakai masker, menutup hidung mulut. Jangan lupa jaga jarak saat ketemu orang. Makan yang bergizi, jaga kesehatan. Anak Indonesia, anak...
Jangan kendor, jaga kesehatan.
Sering-sering cuci tangan, gunakan sabun, pakai masker, menutup hidung mulut. Jangan lupa jaga jarak saat ketemu orang. Makan yang bergizi, jaga kesehatan. Anak Indonesia, anak...
Jangan kendor, jaga kesehatan.
Sering-sering cuci tangan, gunakan sabun, pakai masker, menutup hidung mulut. Jangan lupa jaga jarak saat ketemu orang. Makan yang bergizi, jaga kesehatan. Anak Indonesia, anak...
Jangan kendor, jaga kesehatan.
Pada tanggal 3 Mei 2021, Direktur bersama Sivitas Akademika Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut mengikuti dan mendukung pemerintah daerah dalam kegiatan vaksinasi massal di Dinas Kesehatan Kabupaten Tanah Laut. Kegiatan ini dalam rangka mengurangi penyebaran COVID-19 di Kabupaten Tanah Laut, khususnya di Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut. Vaksinasi massal ini dijadwalkan menjadi 2 gelombang. Gelombang pertama diikuti oleh 20 peserta yang terdiri dari direktur, Dewan Penyantun, dosen, dan tenaga kependidikan Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut. Kemudian gelombang kedua akan dilaksanakan pada tanggal 5 Mei 2021. Semoga dengan upaya yang dilakukan Politala ini dapat menekan penyebaran COVID-19 di Kabupaten Tanah Laut.
Pada Senin 21 Juni 2021, Direktur Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut Dr. Mufrida Zain terjun langsung ke kebun jagung Politala untuk langsung memanen jagung pakan ternak yang sudah siap dipanen. Panen jagung di lahan seluas kurang lebih 2 hektar ini adalah panen yang kedua di dalam tahun ini setelah panen yang pertama diproses pada 4 bulan yang lalu. Proses panen oleh direktur kali ini didampingi dosen-dosen program studi baru, yaitu program studi D4 Teknologi Pakan Ternak. Nantinya hasil panen ini akan diolah dan dijadikan bahan praktikum dalam pengembangan inovasi pakan ternak di Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut. Direktur Politala berharap selain menghasilkan panen dari ladang sendiri, Politala dapat mengelola dan memproduksikan hasil pakan ternak sendiri. Kemudian kedepannya harapan Politala dapat menjadi politeknik yang unggul di dalam industri pakan ternak dapat terwujud. Demikian Humas Politala melaporkan. Vokasi berjaya, Politala masa depan pasti. Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut sebagai institusi pendidikan vokasi harus bekerja sama dengan IDUKA atau industri dan dunia kerja dalam penyusunan kurikulum. Tidak hanya disusun bersama, tetapi juga harus sampai pada tahap persetujuan oleh pihak industri dan calon pengguna lulusan. Maka dari itu pada hari Rabu tanggal 14 Juli 2021 bertempat di Gedung Muhammad Nuh Politala, Program Studi Baru Teknologi Pakan Ternak menyelenggarakan pembahasan dan evaluasi kurikulum bersama industri. Kegiatan ini dihadiri oleh Dewan Penyantun, Wakil Direktur 1 dan 3, dan dosen-dosen program studi agroindustri dan teknologi pakan ternak. Turut berhadir pada kegiatan kali ini perwakilan dari Industri Tanah Laut, CV Berkah Group, PT Medion Adika Bakti, PT Japfa Komfit, dan Unit Pelaksana Teknis BPTU HPT Pelaihari. Kegiatan pembahasan dan evaluasi kurikulum diawali dengan sambutan Wakil Direktur 1 Politala, Sukma Firdaus. Ia mengatakan salah satu hal yang perlu dilaksanakan pada saat pendirian program studi baru adalah evaluasi perangkat pembelajaran, yaitu yang paling utama adalah kurikulum. Berikutnya sambutan oleh Dewan Penyantun Politala, Dr. Syahabuddin Halid. Dalam sambutannya ia mengatakan program studi teknologi pakan ternak adalah salah satu prodi yang sudah lama dirancang bahkan saat awal berdirinya Politala. Hal ini dikarenakan kebutuhan utama masyarakat di Kabupaten Tanah Laut adalah dunia peternakan. Dewan Penyantun juga mengungkapkan bahwa program Merdeka Belajar saat ini berkaitan langsung, serta menjadi peluang besar dengan adanya peran dari dunia industri. Sehingga nantinya mahasiswa akan menerima pendidikan di kampus dan juga praktek langsung di industri minimal selama 1 tahun. Diskusi pembahasan dan evaluasi kurikulum dipandu langsung oleh Ketua Program Studi Teknologi Pakan Ternak Politala, Dwi Sandri. Di dalam sesi pembahasan tersebut turut dijelaskan landasan sejarah dibentuknya Program Studi Teknologi Pakan Ternak, yang dalam hal ini Kabupaten Tanah Laut memiliki salah satu peternakan yang berpotensi paling besar di Kalimantan Selatan. Draft kurikulum yang telah dirancang oleh seluruh dosen Program Studi Teknologi Pakan Ternak turut dipresentasikan. Perwakilan dari industri yang berhadir di tempat maupun yang mengikuti secara daring, masing-masingnya dimintakan arahan dan masukan terhadap draft kurikulum yang telah disusun. Syamsurizal selaku perwakilan dari CV Berkah Group menyampaikan rasa terima kasih dan apresiasi. Ia juga menyampaikan harapan terhadap dilaksanakannya kegiatan evaluasi.
Untuk hari ini acara evaluasi tentang kurikulum dari program studi D4 Teknologi Pakan Ternak. Terima kasih sebelumnya sudah memberi kesempatan kepada kami bagian industri untuk memberi sedikit masukan yang telah kami lakukan tadi. Mudah-mudahan apapun yang bisa sedikit kita berikan tadi bisa memberi manfaat, memberi pelengkap bagi nanti terciptanya kurikulum yang pas, yang bisa bermanfaat untuk pembelajaran mahasiswa dan juga nanti outputnya kualitas mahasiswa juga bisa benar-benar bermanfaat untuk dunia industri. Program studi ini sangat-sangat tepat sekali untuk diadakan di Politeknik Tanah Laut ini. Kenapa? Karena potensi yang ada untuk khususnya peternakan di Tanah Laut sangat luar biasa dan masih belum secara optimal dikelola. Seperti yang kita ketahui, unsur pakan Di dalam dunia peternakan itu hampir 70-80% dari total biaya produksi, sehingga untuk menciptakan pakan yang berkualitas tapi efisien itu adalah kunci dari kesuksesan satu peternakan. Karena itu lulusan dari D4 Prodi Teknologi Pakan Ternak itu sangat match sekali dengan kendala yang ada di tanah laut saat ini, khususnya di dunia peternakan. Mudah-mudahan program studi ini bisa memberi manfaat yang maksimal, bisa segera menghasilkan lulusan yang berkualitas, berkompeten, yang sangat kita nantikan kiprahnya di dunia usaha peternakan.
Demikian Humas Politala melaporkan. Vokasi berjaya, Politala masa depan pasti. Bersama-sama memiliki skema pendidikan pertanian dan peternakan, Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut dan SMK Negeri Pertanian Pembangunan atau SMK PP Pelaihari menjalin kerjasama dengan ditandatanganinya Nota Kesepahaman atau MOU. Acara penandatanganan tersebut dilaksanakan di Aula Gedung Teknik Informatika Politala pada hari Jumat tanggal 9 Juli 2021. Sivitas Akademika Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut yang berhadir terdiri dari Direktur, Dr. Mufrida Zain, serta Dr. Sihabuddin Khalid selaku Dewan Penyantun, seluruh wakil direktur, seluruh kepala pusat layanan, dan dosen-dosen jurusan teknologi industri pertanian. Adapun dari pihak SMK Negeri PP Pelaihari, turut berhadir Insinyur Bihmanto dan Wakahumas SMK NPP Pelaihari, Laras Bambang Kurnianto. Secara online, beberapa kepala sekolah SMK-SMK di Kabupaten Tanah Laut juga turut serta mengikuti acara. Penyanyian lagu Indonesia Raya dan pembacaan doa bersama mengawali secara resmi acara penandatanganan. Setelah dibukanya acara, dilaksanakanlah agenda penandatanganan berkas nota kesepahaman oleh Direktur Politala dengan Kepala Sekolah SMK NPP Pelaihari. Setelah penandatanganan dilakukan, sambutan demi sambutan disampaikan. Bihmanto dalam awal sambutannya mengungkapkan rasa terima kasih kepada Politala yang telah memfasilitasi acara MOU kali ini. Ia mengatakan dalam sambutannya bahwa dengan dibukanya Prodi Teknologi Pakan Ternak di Politala, hal ini menjadi sebuah kekuatan yang baru di Kabupaten Tanah Laut. Direktur Politala juga sangat mengapresiasi dengan kerjasama yang dilaksanakan kali ini. Direktur menyampaikan bahwa kedua belah pihak memiliki tujuan yang sama, yaitu mencetak SDM unggul yang berdaya saing dan siap kerja. Dalam sambutan yang terakhir, Dewan Penyantun sekaligus salah satu pendiri Politala, Dr. Sihabuddin Khalid menerangkan latar belakang dibukanya program studi teknologi pakan ternak. Ia menjelaskan bahwa Kabupaten Tanah Laut adalah penyuplai terbesar untuk kebutuhan telur dan daging ayam di Kalimantan Selatan. Sehingga program studi teknologi pakan ternak diharapkan dapat mendukung peningkatan pengolahan pakan ternak di Kabupaten Tanah Laut melalui SDM yang dihasilkan nantinya.
Alhamdulillah hari ini kita sudah selesai melaksanakan kegiatan MOU bersama antara SMK Negeri Pertanian Pembangunan Pelaihari dengan Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut. Alhamdulillah hari ini kita sudah melaksanakan itu, di mana kami sangat tersandung ya dengan kerjasama hari ini. Akhirnya bisa dilibatkan untuk kemajuan khususnya Tanah Laut itu sendiri dan kemajuan anak didik anak bangsa itu sendiri. Kemudian harapan kita ke depan, kita bisa bekerja sama lebih bagus lagi khususnya di dunia pendidikan. Kemudian yang kedua, kita juga berharap nantinya baik anak SMK PP maupun nantinya alumni atau mahasiswa daripada Politeknik Negeri ini nanti bisa bersinergi berkaitan dengan menghadapi dunia kerja yang nyata seperti itu. Mereka tahu perlu kita sekali bukan hanya di dalam pendidikan itu bukan hanya sekedar wawasan pengetahuan, tapi perlu keterampilan. Nah, sangat tepat sekali kalau Politeknik Negeri lebih banyak ke aplikatif di dunia lapangan atau dunia usaha dunia kerja itu sendiri.
Demikian Humas Politala melaporkan. Vokasi berjaya, Politala masa depan pasti.
Anh ơi, tao thấy mày khai cái form của khoa.
fantastis tanah laut kita, damai nyaman sejuk alamnya, indahnya alamku, dapaian negeriku, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. Hijau pegunungan menghias daratan, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. Indahnya alamku, damainya negeriku, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. Hijau pegunungan menghias daratan, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. 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 Fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy.
Well, thank you all for being here today, and let me welcome all of you, the Honorable, the Director of Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut, Dr. Mufrida Zain, and then Ibu Marlia, and all of the staff from Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut, our student, and also here with us, there is Dr. and reporter from National Kaohsiung University of Public Science and Technology, Taiwan, and Dr. Pham Phong Yen from Vietnam. We are happy to have all of you here and all of the participants from another university in Indonesia. Well, first of all, let me invite our actor to give a speech to open this national seminar. So please welcome Dr. Mufrida Zain, SAG NPD, the Director of Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yarfa'illahu alladhina amanu minkum walladhina utul ilma darajat. Allah akan meninggikan beberapa derajat orang yang beriman dan berilmu pengetahuan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On behalf of Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut, I am Dr. Mufrida Zain, SAG MPD, as the Director of Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. It is an honor and privilege to invite you to participate in our international seminar. Academic Seminar and International Conference first ASIC that we have by collaboration between Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut and Dr. D.Y. Patil School. I am pleased to welcome you and I am grateful to the keynote speaker who have come to share their knowledge on this seminar. First of all, Dr. Glenn Andrew Potter, Assistant Professor, National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, Taiwan. Then Dr. Atul Kumar, Professor and Head of Research, Dr. D.Y. Patil School, Pune, Maharashtra, India. Also, Dr. Muhammad Yasin, Professor and Head Academic Outreach in National Textile University, Faisalabad, Pakistan. And last but not least is Dr. Pham Thi Hong Yen, Assistant Professor, Foreign Trade University, Hanoi, Vietnam. I also welcome the many representatives of governments, industry, association, and non-government organizations who have joined us. I am sure you will have fruitful and rewarding exchange in this event. I wish you every success with this important conference and I look forward to learning about the outcome. Finally, let's open this international. Buahku ini sangatlah berserat. Buah terkenal khas dari Kalimantan. Silaturahmi selalu dijaga erat. Jangan lupa terapkan protokol kesehatan. Hari Kamis berbaju batik. Kain sasirangan, ciri khas Banjar. Hubungan harmonis selalu dijaga baik agar urusan berjalan dengan lancar. Thank you. Wallahul muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Well, that's all the speech greeting from our director, Dr. Mufrida Jain, SAGMPT. Now, let's welcome Dr. Glenn Andrew Porter from National Kaohsiung University, Science and Technology, Taiwan. Hello, Dr. Porter. How are you? Yeah, I think you need to open your mic first.
Hello, Gali.
Hello, Dr. G. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's 9:30 a.m. in Taiwan.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you for joining us, and we are happy to have you here to sharing about everything here today.
Thank you. I'd be happy to talk with you about international students coming to Taiwan and some motivations and benefits that students might have to study abroad. I'm sharing my PowerPoint. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can share, see your PowerPoint, and I think it is your time. Time is here. You could share everything about the international graduate student interest in pursuing higher education abroad, especially in Taiwan. Please welcome our first keynote speaker, Dr. Glenn Andrew Porter. Yeah, please.
My talk today will be about international graduate student interest in pursuing higher education abroad. I'm from the National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology. It's located in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. lately there have been a lot of changes in Taiwan's educational system. Over the past 2 decades, Taiwan's educational system has experienced a lot of transformations. In the past, I would say before about 20 years ago or so, the primary focus of the educational industry in Taiwan was placed on the vocational training of domestic students for local employment, mostly in industries. But recently, within the last 20 years, due to the effects of the globalizing employment market and various other demographic factors, there has been a concentrated effort to upgrade the status and the general reputation of Taiwanese universities. And also, starting at about 2005, to internationalize the student body. In response to these changes, the proposed research that I'm working on has a couple things that we'll look at. One, we want to identify the determining factors, the motivations and interests that foreign students have in pursuing higher education in Taiwan. And secondly, we want to propose key issues and areas of concern that should be addressed in order to enhance the reputation of Taiwanese universities as a preferred educational experience. The expanding of international students in pursuing higher education in Taiwan is very important. The internationalization of Taiwan's tertiary educational system plays a key role in sustaining the economic development and overall fiscal solvency of these institutions.
Recording in progress.
It does so by providing a larger number of students within the educational institutions. In late January of this year, the Ministry of Education reported that the total number of international students in Taiwan has now surpassed 130,000 students. The revenue from foreign students studying in Taiwan amounts to around 5 billion NT dollars a year. And that is equivalent to about 167 million US dollars. So this is considered a prime market in Taiwan, and this market is one that we wish to nurture and grow in the next few years. There are a couple specific areas of interest, and I'll call these key points because there are things that are missing in our understanding of things as a research question. The first thing is, what are foreign students interested in? What are specific interests of international students which motivate them to choose Taiwan educational institutions to further their educational studies? And the second question, we want to develop or modify programs of recruitment and retention which matches student interest. Now, this topic has been studied a lot for other countries, especially Western countries. But this question, as it pertains to Taiwan, is a new idea. It's hardly been studied, and the related information is absent in the academic literature. We can think of this as a push and a pull. There are economic and social forces within a home country that serve to push students to study abroad. So those are called push factors. The decision as to which destination country is finally selected is based on a variety of what we call pull factors, things about that particular country that other people are interested in that would cause them to choose to study in that country. So we have push factors mostly coming from the home country and pull factors coming from the country that is ultimately chosen to study abroad.
Ada tempatnya? Nggak muat itu, ada ini loh.
I'd like to open this up to discussion, not just for me to talk, but I'd like to pose some questions for all of us to discuss, and anyone is welcome to share their ideas and tell us your thoughts. And I think since we have a large number of people from different countries that are involved in education in some way, then
Yes, sir.
we could put together a lot of ideas about this and come together on it. So the first couple questions that I'd like to pose to everyone are at the bottom of the PowerPoint. The first one is, what are students in your country, whatever country you may be from, what are those students seeking to attain when they go to study abroad? What are they looking for? I mean, why not just study in your home country? Why does studying abroad become a serious consideration?
Okay, anybody want to answer the question from Dr. G? Yeah, what are you looking for to attain by studying abroad? Yeah, it is a great question, because we don't know when we want to study abroad. Yeah, maybe because there is a scholarship or another factor. So that's why Dr. Porter asked. Okay, anybody want to answer it? Maybe some student here. Anita want to continue her study in Taiwan. I will invite Anita. Maybe Anita could open your mic and answer the question from Dr. Porter, please. Anita, are you here? Could you tell us why you want to continue your study in abroad, especially in Taiwan? Because it is same question from Dr. Porter. And I was took 2 or 3 his classes about the international student when I was in National Kaohsiung University Science and Technology. So he really helped me dealing with the situation when I was there. Okay, Anita or another student or maybe some lecturer here want to answer the question. We also have Memianti here, and then there is also Bu Marlia and another, and Bu Diana from STIMI Banjarmasin, and then Pak Hamka from Poltek Negeri Nunukan maybe.
Yes, yes.
Please, sir. When you think a student try to attend to the abroad, what is the push factor? Maybe Pahamka want to discuss about it? There's also Pam Hong Yen here from Vietnam. Yeah, we were in the same lab. Yeah, when I was studying National Coaching University and Technology. So, like Dr. Porter said, that we here when we want to continue our study in abroad, so we need to deal with some factor. And what is the push factor? Why you don't continue your study in your home country? Why you choose another country such as Taiwan or another country? Maybe some idea when you want to share, please. Okay, I try to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning to you. In Vietnam, I am in Vietnam now, and I am and here it is 8:48. So
Okay.
since I am earlier than you, I am in an area which is earlier than you or later than you. I don't know. So your question is a good question. Hold on for 1 minute. I get my glasses. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Pam Hong Yen from Vietnam. Yeah. And then like the question from Dr. Chi, I think all of us here have another and different answer. Yeah, especially here we have also Widodo. Dodo, you want to continue your study in abroad, right? So what is
okay? I'm back.
Okay, great.
Sorry, I would like to answer your question about my own case.
Okay, please.
About why I choose Taiwan to study. I studied PhD in Taiwan, and Galit asked me why. All right, I have my own reason, but my reason comes from families and from my school. So my motivation comes from my family's problem and my school. Firstly, it comes from my school. That is my school welcome the lecturers to get PhD degree. They want to support. They want to support the lecturer. It's lecturers to study higher, to get the higher education. And PhD is welcome here. So it really pushed me up. It's really pushed me up to study PhD. And so I have intention quite some time. And then when the chance come, I get it. I got it. Okay, I caught it. I caught the chance when my husband has a working term in Taiwan. Actually, before that time, I think that I may get the course in USA or in speaking English each country because of my English. So, but anyway, God proposed, human proposed, but God disposed, right? So I took the chance to go to Taiwan to study PhD there, so I can fulfill my two tasks. The first one is my university's task, and which is obtain the PhD degree and improve my knowledge, of course. And the second chance is I took is taking taking the good situation. That is I can stay with my husband, and then I can study at the same time. So I think people have different chances to study. To study, they may choose not the same like me, but anyway, you should think about it. You should think about it, and then you should think about the benefit it gives to you, the chance to offer you. You have to adjust a little bit depending on the situation at the current situation. So that's all for my story. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pham Hong Yen from Vietnam. And yeah, that was your experience studying in Taiwan, PhD in Taiwan. And one more, Dr. Ji, I would like to ask the student who want to continue studying in Taiwan. Dodo, you still here? Please open your mic. So you could tell Dr. Porter what is the make you something push you to continue your study in Taiwan. Dodo, you here? Or Anita, please, because Dodo, Anita, and then Suchi, they want to continue their study in Taiwan. So it is a good time to you to tell us why you want to continue your study in Taiwan. And yeah, there is also Bunda Harlis Tewati. Welcome to this international seminar, Bunda Harlis.
Thank you very much.
Maybe Bunda Harlis want to answer this question also from Dr. G. What make people want to continue their study and what they're seeking to attend by studying abroad?
I'm just joined, so
Okay, thank you, Bunda Harlis.
next I will prepare for the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Bunda. Dodo, please open your mic and tell what is your reason to continue your study in Taiwan.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gali, for the question. Maybe I'm just want to share. I'm just want to answer a little bit why I want to continue about my study in Taiwan. Maybe the first because there is my big dream in myself, and I have to out of my easy zone, and I have to choose the one and only that's really important for me, because I have a dream when I still on senior high school. When I still in senior high school, I always dream to continue my study in other countries. So when I have a change, when I have this time from Mr. Gali, exactly from Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut too, about this program, and yeah, I will continue my study in Taiwan because of that. And a lot of people that want me to join about this program, and I think I have a choice right now, and maybe like that I can say. Thank you.
Okay, that's great, Dodo. Yes, so just keep your dream. Okay, I think that's to answer Dr. Porter. Yeah, everybody will have the different answer, and we need to hear again from Dr. Porter because he is the expert about it. He meet some people from foreign country and study in his classes. Okay, please, Dr. Porter.
Thank you. I'll continue. If you have some other things that you'd like to share, please do so. Here are a few pull factors. Some benefits of studying abroad include the primarily greater opportunities in one's career. For some unknown reason, people who have experience studying or working abroad have an edge in their career. People that have this kind of experience get more job offers. They tend to have more well-rounded resumes. They are more creative. They have a more mature mindset in working with people. They have better communication skills, higher GPAs. They have higher salaries. They tend to be more flexible. There are many other traits that people have. And how can these traits be quantified? Well, I think that's an ongoing challenge in the study of studying abroad, the study of study. But here is one thing that we do know. There are several competencies which have been studied about employment-related skills. And as you can see from this graph, those who feel that this particular competency has been improved by studying abroad is shown in blue. And a large part of all of these bar graphs is blue. And some of these competencies include intercultural skills, flexibility, self-awareness, tolerance for ambiguity, a work ethic. And there are cognitive competencies that include curiosity, confidence, problem solving, language skills, expertise in one's major, and technical skills. There are interpersonal competencies as well. Interpersonal skills, this means how one interacts with other people, communication skills, teamwork skills, and leadership skills. Another question for discussion might be, what are some push factors that are specific or unique to your country? What are some pull factors that are unique to Taiwan? If you have, if anyone would like to speak up and answer the question, I would be quite ready to pause and allow others to speak.
Okay, that's the next question from Dr. G. What are some push factors that are specific or unique to your country? So yes, the question for discussion. Anybody here want to try to discuss it with Dr. G? Maybe somebody here want to try? Yeah, just open your mic and then just speak about it. What are some factors that are specific or unique to your country? Yeah. For example, in Indonesia, yeah, we also from our government, they also give us the scholarship. Yeah, you could continue your study in the public university in Indonesia, but why you choose to continue your study in another country? What is make your country unique? I think it's especially from yeah, maybe from Vietnam, yeah, Dr. Pang Hong Yen, and then from Indonesia maybe could answer it. Maybe Bu Marlia, the head of research in our campus in Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut, or another. Okay, let me try to find someone here. And we also have Pak Fajar Ariwibowo from STI Yogyakarta here. Welcome to this international seminar, sir. And then also Mr. Nako. Okay. And we also have the head of advisory board from Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut, Dr. Syabuddin Khalid. Thank you, sir, for being here today with us. And I invite you to have some, if you don't mind, Dr. Syabuddin Khalid, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is Dr. Syabuddin Khalid, the advisory board from Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut. And it is time Dr. Porter, Dr. Glenn Andrew Porter from National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology explain about the opportunity to continue the study in Taiwan. And he asked the participant about what are some push factors that are specific or unique to your country. So why we leave our country to continue to study abroad? Yeah, we have actually we could continue our study in Indonesia, but why we continue our study in another country? Maybe with your experience, sir, with your experience study in Australia, you have this answer, please.
Thank you very much. But I don't under because I just suddenly, so I want to once again to explain about what about talking you want what your question, I mean.
Sure. Yeah. Let me back up a little bit. There are many push and pull factors that cause students to want to study abroad. And there are a lot of things, a lot of issues, including job offers, employment offers, chances to travel. And so there are several reasons that would pull and also push students to study abroad. Now, some of these reasons, some of these pushes are specific to countries. That is, that some countries have a push that other countries may not have. For example, if someone lives in a country that does not have a very good educational system, then that would be one very significant push factor that is unique to that particular country that would motivate them to go study abroad. Or another extreme reason is maybe a person's home country is experiencing a war. And there are several areas in the world that are experiencing wars and other forms of unrest. And so some people may consider that to be an excellent time to go to another country and pursue a degree. Go ahead. Are there any push factors unique to your home country?
Okay, that's the explanation from Dr. G. Maybe somebody here want to explain about it. And yeah, we have Dr. Syabuddin Khalid here for give more explanation that the push factor that are specific or unique from our country. And then yeah, we also have some people here if want to give more explanation about it. So I just want to make it clear that because like Dr. G explained to us that every country have a different factor to invite or to invite a student from other country. What Indonesian have to invite another student from other country to have an international student, maybe something like that. And yeah, there is Dr. Syabuddin Khalid, and then there is also Ibu Marlia, maybe want to share about it, maybe about the research opportunity, maybe about the scholarship, maybe about another things that make Indonesia unique. So another student from another country want to continue their study, especially in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gali. Can you hear my voice?
It's clear.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to answer the question maybe because they want to learn the language, and then especially they want to migrate to become a cultural in several places in Indonesia. So they want to go to abroad to Taiwan, and then they want to become independent and add insight to get a good job when they return to Indonesia. I think that's the reason they want to go to another country. Thank you, Mr. Gali.
Okay, that's the answer from Ibu Marlia, yeah, the head of research in our Polytechnic. Okay, and we also have here Mem Yanti. Yeah, Mem Yanti, could you hear me? And maybe could open your mic to say hello to the first speaker, Dr. Porter. And there's a question from here about what are some push factors that are specific or unique to your country. Yeah, we're still waiting for another question, another answer. And yeah, it seems to me that some factor and specific from Indonesia, we have the multi-culture, and then we also have a different any languages, especially in the local area. So I think it will become the unique factor when some people or students from foreign country want to continue study in Indonesia, especially like in my campus in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. We have the mountain, and then we have the coastal area, and it is still still natural. And then yeah, like everybody knows that in Kalimantan especially, we the first the first polytechnic in our regency Tanah Laut. So there is many opportunity, yeah, for students, for lecturer to join us and to have what is it, global impact to another country. I think that's all, Dr. Chi, and we could have another discussion again, please.
Yeah, sure. I'll continue. Just like there are many push factors that motivate students to study abroad, there are also many pull factors. Waldman studied the factors that influence international students when they are deciding to select a destination university. He analyzed the process of internationalization and academic exchange through a literature review, and he found 16 determining factors that influence international students who are choosing to study abroad. And here is a list of the 16 factors that Waldman found. One is financing, the money. Number two, professional and personal development. Number three is a multicultural environment. 4, educational quality. 5, availability of information about that university. 6, recommendations. 7, institutional characteristics. 8, social interaction. 9, the language of the host country. 10, a safe environment or safe culture. 11, some characteristics that the student is finds particularly attractive about that country or that city. 12, the geographic location. Usually it is not too far away from the host, from the country of origin. And 13, educational agents, meaning some of the teachers or some of the facilities of that university. 14, personal characteristics. Perhaps that particular person has a relative or a family member who has lived or has worked in that country, and so they feel drawn to that country for that reason. 15, the climate of the country, the weather. And 16, the location of the university, and that would include the aesthetic appearance, beauty, and the surroundings of the university. If you look at this list closely, you'll see that Taiwan ranks highly among many of these factors, especially it's a multicultural environment. It's very, very safe. Taiwan is one of the safest countries in the world in terms of crime rate. And it's a beautiful country, very peaceful. The location is rather central in Southeast Asia. The climate is wonderful, and the location, the beauty of the university and the surroundings. So these are points that might pull a student to come study in Taiwan. This is a picture of the university where I got my PhD. This is the National Taiwan University of Science and Technology. This is located in Taipei. And this is a photograph of the National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology. And of course, that's located in Kaohsiung in the south. So a university in the north and a university in the south. Just to give you a flavor of the beauty of the university. Now, there are some key success factors too that have been studied. A man named Tsai and his group studied the international mobility of students. He explored the critical success factors of the global mobility of college students, and they reported 13 key success factors for international mobility. Among these 13 factors, there were 5 that he found were very, very important from the perspective of university students. And these 5 are a multicultural tolerance or acceptance of foreigners or people from other cultures. Number 2 is the ability or the chance to try something new. The third success factor is a difficult task or a challenge. And 4, there is a difference in perspective of people from other cultures that would cause there to be something different there, and that whenever you have something that is different, there is also something to be learned there. So if you put yourself in a group of people who are very different from yourself, then you will find lots of things to learn from those people. And the 5th one is the opportunity is without the fear of risk or failure, or the risk of failure is so low that it is not something to be feared. The combination of these key success factors depends on the individual student. However, an educational experience in Taiwan does offer a combination of these key success factors. This is a photograph of a cross-cultural festival that I had the pleasure to join, and I believe Gali was there too, but he's not in this picture.
I'm the one who take the picture.
Oh,
the photographer.
Okay, the next idea I have to share with you is what's called a self-determination theory. A self-determination theory views humans as proactive organisms. Organisms that have natural or we might call it intrinsic, meaning that it originates from within the person, is a self-determined interest. So there's a concept of interest. So when I say the word interest here, I'm speaking of a construct in psychology. It's not just a noun that we might use to describe something. This is a psychological construct. A self-determined interest results in a personal state of constant flux or change within an individual that is attuned to seeking situations that can satisfy the psychological needs of autonomy, competence, and relatedness. So these 3 things are very important, and people will seek and search and look for these things: autonomy, competence, and being related or being included in something. With respect to student interest, Jack reported 3 characteristics of interest. I'll share these with you. Interest 1, or I should say slide 1, that could be confusing. Slide 1 about interest. Interest is biased in disposing a person towards certain behaviors. That is a kind of a definition of interest. And this is true only if an object or activity of interest is present. This bias of interest plays a significant role in self-motivated behavior, attention, goal setting, learning strategies, and in educational settings. The second quality of interest is that interest is dynamic. Interest is dynamic in the way it disposes a person towards seeking out additional experiences. Specifically, experiences that provide continued or repeated interaction with the object of interest. So this is an internal motivation. It is something that people want. Interest is constantly searching for ways to bring about the realization of a specific purpose. Interest is a disposition towards an object or activity, and this is often manifested within specific situations. Interest, taken more broadly, is understood to be a self-directed dispositional intention. So, for example, if someone had an interest in the pursuit of a science degree, then that would mean that they have this idea in their head that they want to study abroad. They want to seek out those activities that would take them closer to that goal. They would want to put themselves in a place where they could make progress on that goal. And they seek out more opportunities to make progress on that goal. So to put this together, we might think that an interest is when someone really enjoys what they're doing. And they are not just driven by a goal, but they are driven because they like to do it. They enjoy what they are doing. And it puts them in a place, it puts them in a mindset where they can express an internal motivation to do or to be something that they want. So desire is also understood to be a part of that. The third point about interest is that it is mediated and it is changeable. It is changeable because it is affected by the experience itself. It is affected by the process of internalization. Internalization means that when we have an experience, we are taking in the things that are happening to us. Our experiences become a part of our life story. And it is who we are. So this is called internalization of the experience. So think of it like this. If someone who knows nothing about Taiwan received a scholarship to come study in Taiwan. And so in the beginning, they had no no interest to study in Taiwan, but after receiving a scholarship, they thought, oh, well, that's a good opportunity. Well, I'll just go study in Taiwan. And then, you know, a couple years into this educational experience, they come to discover, oh, wow, Taiwan is just a wonderful place. I love Taiwan. And then they change their mind, they change their interest because of this experience that they had by studying in Taiwan. And so this is internalization. The internalization can be viewed as a process of either introjection or integration. So these two words, introjection or integration, have very specific definitions. Introjected internalization is an acceptance of something without the desire to take full ownership of that thing. So that means that the person is simply happy to have the experience in their life. An integrated internalization is an acceptance of something along with the desire to take full ownership. The ownership here is rather colloquial, meaning that the person goes into it with very specific goals, and their ego is tied up in the achievement of these goals. They have the idea, I must succeed at this or else I am a failure. And so there is a strong element of willpower in the self-determination. So I want to put all of this together so far. I've talked about lots of ideas here, but when we look at all of the research that I've discussed so far, we find that there are some areas that kind of reach across all of these areas that I have been talking about. So I want to put together a comprehensive understanding of all of this research. And when we do that, we find that there are several commonalities that deserve further attention. The first one is that interest depends on the real possibility of achieving personal goals. And there must be a self-directed dispositional intention, or in other words, it has to be a free choice. They have to be able to choose. Yes, I want to go here. I want to study this subject. I want to be a certain kind of career professional. I want to be a professor. I want to be a businessman. I want to be a salesman. I want to study business. I want to study engineering. To just be able to choose what one does with one's life. That is a very important element of the process. And number two, the actualized expression of interest may hinge on whether the introjection or integrated internalization of the educational endeavor can be accepted without the fear of risk or failure. So if you toss a lot of motivations for a student to do something, if you give them a free choice, you can study whatever you want to study, but they're afraid of something. They're afraid they will not be able to perform well. They're afraid they'll be homesick. They're afraid they won't be able to fit in. Then they will not be able to actualize the choice and internalize that experience for that reason. So fear is a factor which prevents the internalization. Number three, another important motivating interest is the willingness to seek out new experiences. If a person wants to have more experience more experiences, then he must be willing to have those experiences. He must be okay with having a new experience, and not something that he does not want, or he does not want to change. He does not want to adapt. He does not want to challenge. He does not, if he does not want those things, then he is not willing to have new experiences. So that is another factor. Number 4, the prospect of something, and in the case of our talk today, it's studying abroad, specifically in Taiwan. This prospect must offer a multicultural experience that is a presently obtainable object of the interest to the student. And I found this is very interesting. Why must people have a multicultural experience for having a motivation to study abroad? And we're welcome to share our theories about this, but my idea is that it's tied up in the fact that different cultures are different, as if that's surprising. Just the fact that they are different creates this opportunity to learn. And so when you put yourself in a situation in a culture that is different, then you are in an environment where there are things that you can learn. And there are people who are experts in that way of thinking or that perspective that are able to share with you their ideas and make that experience a learning experience. Number 5, another interest is in the challenge of internalizing. So this internalization of the new experience, people find this exciting. They find it exhilarating. They want it. They seek it. They love it. And 6, there is a perpetuation of this experience. As students' current interest is satisfied, motivation is increased. So they do it, they have a good experience, they want to do it again. They do it, they enjoy it, they were successful, they want to do it again. They want to keep doing it, they want to pursue it, they want to grow, they want to build on that even more. So this propels them forward and provides more opportunities for sustainable growth in their learning. And of course, this involves other people too. So this is an example of synergy. Here are some issues that we might invest in this endeavor. There are several contributing factors that influence the decision of international students to study abroad. So at the beginning of my talk, I asked you, what are those factors? What are the push-pull factors? And some of you shared your ideas about that. What are those factors? Another factor is that what is required in sustaining international postgraduate students' learning interest in engineering. Engineering is one subject that is quite popular for various reasons. And so we want to know, why is that popular? Another issue to be investigated is exploring factors affecting postgraduate students' learning mobility in Taiwan. by learning mobility, what does that mean? That means that if a student takes a course at a university in Taiwan, will that actually give them what they want from the experience? Will that lead them upwards in their career trajectory? And we assume that it does, because Taiwan already has very many students from other countries, and they are reporting that studying in Taiwan does help their learning, their learning mobility. So we want to know why that is. The international engineering education and its contribution to Taiwan society. We want to find out international postgraduate students' perspectives about studying in Taiwan. I've studied this a little bit already, and I can tell you that a lot of students, they want to work abroad. They want to work in Taiwan. They want the career opportunities that are possible in Taiwan. And if they have a degree in Taiwan, then that's, helps them get their foot in the door and improves their chances of networking with important people who could help them along in that life path in a career. So we want to identify these reasons. Why do foreign students choose to pursue higher education in Taiwan? And another question, to what degree does the international image of Taiwan's tertiary education influence international students' choice to pursue higher education in Taiwan? So does the university have to be famous? Does it need to have great and highly published, highly famous teachers that would enhance the international image? Or is it some other factor that enhances the image? Maybe it's the location, maybe it's the language. What are those things? And so what can we do to enhance those things? What can we do to enhance international students' interest in choosing to study abroad, to choose to study in Taiwan, or at a specific university? And so I'd like to open this up to discussion again. Question number 1, why do foreign students choose to pursue higher education in Taiwan? Now, I'm not sure many of you will be able to answer this question because maybe you're not in a position where you would know the answer. But does anyone here work with students who once they graduate, they tend to travel abroad for further studies? Is there anyone here like that?
Yeah, I think so, Dr. G, because some of students here, they want to continue their study in Taiwan. Last year, we sent a student here to Taiwan, and this year, perhaps 21 students will go to Taiwan to continue their study with the program 2+I academic collaboration. So they continue their study in Taiwan about 3 years, 1.5 years in university, and then they will continue internship in some industry. Maybe some of you, the student from Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut, want to answer the question from Dr. G. Why do foreign students choose to pursue higher education in Taiwan? Yeah, some of you, the student, could open your mic and then answer that question. There we have Yogi, Fandi, and then we have Dodo. Yeah, we have also Anita, and then maybe some of the lecturer here, Emma Lestari, Memianti, yeah, Pak Jaka Permadi. Yeah, maybe you could give the answer. Why is you want to continue your study in Taiwan? Please, some of you.
Okay, the first time, sorry.
Yeah, please. Dr. Syahabudin, please.
Good morning, Dr. Porter, yeah, in Taiwan. Okay, thank you very much for the first time. I will have to discuss about the number one, because about 20 years ago, yeah, I was Australia about 1996, yeah, I was Australia. I think it's still relevant for this. Why the foreign students choose to for high education last time probably concerns Australia or Singapore, but today many students actually for us in Indonesia, like Politala, choose for Taiwan. I think some reason is to answer for this number one. At the time, I according to me, why the student choose for higher education in Taiwan, I think is for the first is Taiwan is like a center of business business city or business country today. Any engineering, any skill for needs today available in Taiwan. Yeah, and the second is about Taiwan is I think to regulation or to the rule of to consent study there is not difficult. I think easy to about the maybe regulation about administration to go there better than in the others, yeah, like Australia probably might be today in Europa. It's very difficult to conduct it about it. But Taiwan, and the third is because today is center of business city, so many cultural, like answer Dr. Porter, is multicultural. Yeah, there are we can interactive for another foreign student, maybe not only Asians, but probably in Europe and Australia and America, they are to study there. So we can interactive not only the same ASEAN. I think this is the important for reason of why the foreign student to choose in Taiwan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Syahabudin Khalid, about the answers. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons also why now Taiwan to become famous for the education. Okay, maybe the others participant here want to share their idea why you choose Taiwan to continue your study, and yeah, maybe you have a different idea with Dr. Syahabudin, and okay, let me find some up here. Yeah, the student from Politala maybe who want to continue their study in Taiwan could answer this question first. Yeah, because we have 21 students want to continue their study and already apply. Yeah, especially in National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology, they already got the LOA and still on the way, I think. So just share your idea here. So Dr. Porter will know you and probably you will meet him very soon. Okay, Anybody here? Okay, please. We also have Ibu Melsi here, right? And maybe Ibu Diana, you already open your mic. You want to share your idea from STIMI Banjarmasin? Okay, or another, please.
Okay, Mr. Gali, can I try to?
Okay, Dodo. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to answer about the question. Number one is why do foreign students choose to pursue higher education in Taiwan? Maybe this is just my opinion, because I think Taiwan is country that has good that has good technology in the world. So I have been reading to article that Taiwan has happiness country in the world. So there is so really interested for me to continue about my study in Taiwan. That reason is I want to look for and I want to look for my experience in Taiwan, because I want to see how the other culture in Taiwan, and I want to learning that, because yeah, that is so interesting for me. So maybe there is reason why Taiwan is higher education. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dodo. And which department you apply in National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology?
Yeah, I was choose one. What was that?
Which department?
I forgot. Wait a minute.
Okay, don't forget that. But you definitely will meet Dr. Porter for class, right? So
Yeah,
I really suggested that you took his class. Yeah, even me, I took 3 his classes about writing and also internationalization class. So I think that's answer first question. Thank you, Dodo. And we also have, what is it? Dr. Pham Hong Yen still here. Yeah, from Vietnam. Maybe Vietnam view will have different answer. Yeah. If you don't mind, Dr. Pham Hong Yen, why do foreign students choose to pursue higher education in Taiwan, especially from Vietnam? Yeah. And I also welcome, what is it, some of lecturer, yeah, already joined here. And we also have Professor Dr. Atul Kumar from India already joined, and he will become the next speaker for today. So yeah, thank you all for being here today, and we focus on the question from Dr. Porter. I think the second question, right? What are some risks in flu? Okay, maybe anybody from all of you want to share the idea about the second question? Maybe there's Pak Agustian Nor here, the head of, what is it, information department in our Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. And then also some of lecturer here, yeah, there's ma'am. Yeah, from accounting department also there is Ibu Nur Amelia, yeah, already joined this. Thank you for joining. Yeah, and then also Ibu Ines Saraswati also. Yeah. Anybody here, if you want to share your idea about the question number 2, just open your mic and then we could discuss about it. Yeah, even if you want to choose another, yeah, because there is there are 5 questions here. So number 3 is what can Taiwanese university do to attract and accommodate foreign student educational interest, and then how can Taiwanese university enhance the international image of Taiwan tertiary education, and the last, how can student interest in educational program offered by Taiwanese university be enhanced. Okay, still waiting for the another, but I have one question actually, Dr. Porter, because in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut, I'm the one who in charge in what is it, OIA, Office International Affairs. So we prepare our students to continue their study in Taiwan, but now the regulation about due to the pandemic and COVID-19, yeah, some of documents they need to to put on for the requirement to enter the Taiwan, and maybe please explain to us about the situation and condition due to this pandemic COVID-19. But yeah, maybe I know some of my friend already told me about it, but we need to hear it from you, and then my friend here could know it from you also. Maybe if you don't mind, please share the situation and condition right now in Taiwan.
Recently, we had an epidemic here, which was a shock to everyone in Taiwan. As you know, since the earliest days of the virus, Taiwan has been very careful to control any outbreak. And for a long time, I would say even more than a year, Taiwan was the shining star in the world of the country that handled this epidemic the best. They had a very large number of cases in other countries around the world, but in Taiwan, that was very, very low. But then recently we had some migrant workers who came to Taiwan, and they somehow got around the procedures for incoming residents. So there was an outbreak, but we're coming out of that now. The rate of infection is coming down very quickly now, and I believe that things will go back to the regular very soon, or at least that is our hope. But yeah, I've heard that the situation in Indonesia recently has become worse. One more reason to come to Taiwan, right?
Yeah, I think no worries about the pandemic in Taiwan, but still the regulation from Indonesian government, we cannot enter the Taiwan due to this pandemic. And then yeah, we still confused also how to send our student to Taiwan right now, because yeah, I think to deal with this pandemic, we still survive in Indonesia, and I think most of countries also. But yeah, like you said before, the Taiwan is the shining star. Yeah, because everything is ready for it. Thank you, Dr. Porter. I think it's related to the second question. What are some risks include? Yeah, right now, when we want to go to Taiwan, yeah, we need to to have more documents. And yeah, the risk is when you got the document, you need to spend your time and money just to get it. Okay, and for anybody, maybe if you want to have another session to discuss, yeah, just open your mic. And here also we have the vice of director, Mr. Sukma Firdaus. Thank you for joining us today. And also some of lecturer just joined us today because they have many classes also and have another meeting, so they just joined right now. Okay, and yeah, maybe Ibu Marlia want to answer from the several question or another. Yeah, it is time for us to discuss about this question. Yeah, so we will ready, and we already have what is it, MOU with the National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology. So maybe for Ibu Marlia about research and then join degree or about the collaboration of research, maybe you could help, because it is how can Taiwan's university to have what is it, a good collaboration with our campus in Indonesia, especially in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. Okay, maybe Ibu Marlia, if you want.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gali. I try to answer. I think why Taiwan become the next country for study. I think because Taiwan is a developed country in the field of technology, many provide scholarships for Asian students, especially to Indonesia and especially to Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. And then Taiwan universities also prepare internships there, and the salary of part-time students is quite large rather than in Indonesia. I think that's more interesting for them to go to Taiwan. And then besides that, technological research collaboration can be carried out between Politala and maybe Kaohsiung University. Maybe Mr. Galih can maybe Mr. Galih can speak with research from Kaohsiung, so we can have opportunity to what it means kerjasama apa.
Yes, collaboration.
Collaboration, sorry. Collaboration between Kaohsiung and Politala. I think so, Mr. Gali.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Marlia, the head of research in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut. Yeah, of course. Actually, the diversity between what is it, academic culture, and then also we need to meet up to have a collaboration between Indonesia and Taiwan. Especially, we have already got an MOU. We already sent several students and then lecturer to study. Yeah, I think for the joint research, yeah, maybe Dr. Porter could answer about it. How about the opportunity to join research between your university and our university, Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut? Yeah, because we try to have what is it, the collaboration with the several country like Taiwan, India, Pakistan, and then Vietnam. Yeah, to make a diversity about the research, especially. Yeah, I think that's all, Dr. Porter. Maybe would you like to explain more about the opportunity to join a research in Taiwan?
To answer your question, I want to skip ahead a little bit and cover another part of my talk. Taiwan has some top industries in manufacturing and engineering and technology. that are leading the world. And of course, I cannot offer any guarantees to individual students that they will be able to participate in any of these industries. But I just want to let you know that these industries are here, and that if you can connect with certain professors, certain individuals networking, they may be able to get you into an internship or a co-op program at some of these industries. Again, I am not in a position to make such promises to anyone, but you know, the potential is definitely here. So to give you an idea of some of these industries, there are a list of things here that are some of the biggest industries in Taiwan, especially chip technologies, green power generation, integrated circuits, information technology, mechatronics, including robotics, memory and data storage technology, optoelectronics is a huge industry, petrochemical industry, you know, manufacturing plastics and other polymer materials, semiconductors and thin film technologies. Taiwan has other key industries too that are not so much related to engineering and technology and science. These include agriculture, aquaculture and fishing, banking, financial services, manufacturing, machinery. Taiwan is a large exporter of high-tech machinery, shipbuilding, steel, and one of my favorites, tea. Taiwan's technology sector are some of the top industries in the world right now. MediaTek, Via, Realtek, and SunPlus are among the world's top 20 integrated circuit design houses. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, is the world's largest semiconductor foundry. The Taiwan-based Advanced Semiconductor Engineering, ASE, and Siliconware Precision Industries, SPIL, lead the integrated circuit packaging industry. ASE Test and ChipMOS Test Technologies lead the integrated circuit testing industry. If you look at this graph of the world's leading semiconductor foundries, you see that more than half of these, half of the semiconductors in the world are manufactured right here at TSMC in Taiwan. But that's not all. This red part, UMC, is also a Taiwanese company, and VIS too, the purple line. So the end result is that a huge fraction of the semiconductor manufacturers are in Taiwan. And this is world here. I mean, this is jaw-droppingly impressive that you know, Taiwan or Taiwanese companies would take up this huge section of the market share in the semiconductor industries. And you see South Korea is in yellow, and China is in red, and other world companies are in green. I love Taiwan. Or, you know, since we're talking about technology, I guess I need to say, I brain Taiwan. Let's take a look at wafer manufacturing. In the world production of wafers, Taiwan manufactures 21.6% of the worldwide wafer capacity, and top manufacturer in the world. South Korea comes in at 20.9, Japan 16%. And China's catching up fast. I'm not sure if they're there just yet or not. I'm waiting to see how that goes. For notebook panels, Asian markets, Taiwan is shown in the light green pie, and for LCD notebook panels in 2020, Taiwan had 44% of that market. For 2021, China is growing quickly, so we're down to 42. Just some impressive numbers here with Taiwanese industry. And here's Taiwan's automotive industry. In this graph, we see for the last 15 years, that the number of registered cars in Taiwan, some are domestic and some are imported. So the domestic market used to be very, very high, and then it took a dip after the financial crisis in 2008, but then it came back. And imported cars are slowly rising until now the imported car market almost matches the domestic car market. So the point I want to make by this slide is not that the Taiwan automotive industry is booming, but that Taiwan is becoming a rich country, that everybody here is buying foreign cars. And so the most popular car in Taiwan is the Toyota RAV4, which is imported from Japan. So this is another way to say that the standard of living in Taiwan is increasing. Taiwan's global market shares for certain industries. Take a look at these numbers. For the production of mass read-only memory, 57% of the global market. TFT, thin film transistors and liquid crystal displays, 23%. Integrated circuit design, Taiwan is 28% of the global market, second only to the US. Integrated circuit testing, 36%. Integrated circuit packaging, 32%. Wafer manufacturing is 22%, which is the world's largest. And read access memory components, 17%. So you see Taiwan as I mean, if you wanted to be right in the middle of the action, where everything is happening and where everything is being manufactured and made, then, you know, Taiwan is not too shabby. It's a pretty good choice. I mean, if you wanted to beat Taiwan, I mean, you'd have to go directly to Silicon Valley, or Nikkei in Japan. I mean, there just aren't very many other places that are far ahead in the technology. So Taiwan has a competitive advantage. There's an abundance of technical specialists in lots of fields: organic chemistry, optoelectronics, integrated circuitry, automated systems, control, dynamics, vision systems, robotics, mechatronics, and many others. Superior pharmaceutical production and manufacturing capabilities. Taiwan is growing its own pharmaceutical industry up from scratch to try to reduce the dependence on other countries for vaccines and other types of drugs. Taiwan is geographically positioned close to potential markets, so this allows greater trade and market development. Taiwan is an excellent springboard for entering Asian markets. So if you want to start up something, Taiwan is a good choice. There's an ease of communication and reduced cultural barriers. Most people in Taiwan know a little bit of English, and there is a growing number of of Indonesians, especially, but also Vietnam and the Philippines, of people from those countries that have immigrated here for the sake of marriage and for the sake of employment. And so, you will meet people in Taiwan from your own country, especially Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, China. There are lots of people here from those countries, especially.
Ready na?
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Porter. And would you like to have a conclusion about your presentation? Because after this, we will have another section.
Sure, I'm over my time, aren't I?
It's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Yeah, because you have many information. So please, your powerful conclusion.
Taiwan is a great place to live, and I would hope to find more people who are knowledgeable about what students from your respective countries, Indonesia, and I understand we also have some educators from Vietnam and Pakistan and several other countries. I would appreciate hearing some feedback from you about what students in your country are looking for. What are their push factors? What pull factors does Taiwan offer that students from your country would be interested in, and what draws them to come to Taiwan? Because ultimately, I hope to make Taiwan a wonderful choice for students to come here and study, to make the educational experience in Taiwan one that has a large and positive impact on one's career, and that has a warm effect that can bring good memories and good social connections to people, and not only Taiwanese, but others from around the world. So I want to thank Gali for inviting me to be a keynote speaker. And please, any of you who wish to talk about these subjects any further, please contact me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Porter, and thank you. We really appreciate your speech and then your time, and thank you once again for the information you already shared to us for this morning. And now please welcome Professor Dr. Atul Kumar from DY Patini School, India, and there is also Professor Jitika from the same institution with Dr. Atul Kumar, DY Pati School from India. Hello, Professor. How are you?
Good morning. Doing good. Good morning, Professor Gali.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, thank you for joining us today, Professor Atul Kumar and Professor Jitika. Yeah, we really happy to have both of you here to talk in our international seminars. And I think that it is a good collaboration from our university. Yeah, we already sent the MOU by post to your country. Hopefully it will arrive in this week. So officially we already have the collaboration. Yeah, and then we will have some times for you to speak about your expertise and then about your university and then about your country. And now please welcome Dr. Atul Kumar and also Professor Jitika. Time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Muhammad Ghali, for inviting us to speak on such a wonderful platform. We are really grateful to you for co-hosting this conference with Dr. Diva Patil B School. We must appreciate the efforts of your director, Dr. Mufrida Zain, Director of Polytechnic Negrehi Tanalaut, for conducting this conference in collaboration with Dr. Diva Patil B School. So it is really indeed a pleasure for me to speak on this platform. I was listening to the earlier colleague of mine, Professor G.A. Porter. He's phenomenal. His speech was amazing. Unfortunately, I was driving and couldn't raise my questions. So if he would be available, I would love to clear my doubts about the higher education in Taiwan. So for today's conference, I would like to speak about how the Indian education system become agile after the COVID-19 pandemic. So as we all know that one of the key aspects in dealing with the pandemic is ensuring that the services are made available conveniently as far as possible. This shutting down of the schools, educational institutions in this pandemic has intensified the need to invite digital technologies for the assistance. Educational institutions and online education solutions have been obliged to work together to improve the quality as well as delivery time of these situations. However, the students, I feel, I believe that the students had to make far larger adjustment than gaining knowledge is always in a classroom environment that they cannot now go to. Many students may not be very well equipped with the remote educational technology. So here, the vision of the government of Digital India emerged as an important effort for resolving the current crisis due to the pandemic. This is an ideal time. I believe that this is an ideal time to experiment and use new instruments to make delivery of education means for students who are unable to go to the campuses. It provides the opportunity to be more innovative and successful while delivering newer and better skills, knowledge via online learning and evaluation. The use of technology in classroom leads to various concepts of the system. For example, a change from education focused on teacher to education centered on students. So these tools can also make time and cost savings for teachers and parents meetings, as well as employee and management meetings, and provide the necessary interactivity. Teaching and learning in digital education is an important link between teaching, content, educator, technology, as well as the teachers. So this technology liberalization is now an important issue, including internet connectivity, telecommunication infrastructure, affordability of the online system, laptop, desktop availability, softwares required for delivering the online solutions, different educational tools, online evaluation tools, etc. But technology-based learning is much more straightforward. That is why I love it, because it does not get subjected to any discrimination. Some of the most common applications for online teaching in India are Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, Google Classroom, Zoom platform on which we are conducting this workshop, this international conference today, edX, Coursera, and many more. These platforms connect virtual communication of the students and teachers along with education. All these platforms improve our skills easily, connect with the institutions, and improve our accessibility to the available source of learning online. Here I would like to especially highlight some of the key initiatives which has been taken by the government of India, like SWAYAM. It is online courses portal for teachers by one of the higher education body. We call it AICT, All India Council for Technical Education. It is you can say similar to the edX and Coursera. We have UG and PG MOOCs for non-tech courses. We have ePG Pathshala or e-content with modules for social science, arts, fine arts, natural sciences. Okay, UGC has also come up with one of the solution called CEC UGC YouTube channel. We have NEET, an initiative of AICT based upon an AICT public-private partnership model. And all these emerged during the pandemic only. Several notable initiatives have also been adopted, including spoken tutorial, free and open source education software, e-yantra, Google Classrooms, and many more. Government of India and the state governments in India have created e-education infrastructure through their respective ministries and departments during this entire pandemic. And some of the notable initiatives taken by the government of India and state governments are National Knowledge Network, National Technology Enhanced Learning Project, and National Information and Communication Education Mission, National Academic Depositories, and many other initiatives. These really helped not only the students, but also the teachers, as well as academic institutions, and especially higher education academic institutions in India. I think online evaluation agencies, they also improve their products, taking into the consideration the limited bandwidth of internet, managing remotely controlled test and qualification assessment. Basic requirements such as strong and dependable platforms, information technology, and desktop, mobile for end delivery and assessment tools are planned, and further improvement is being undertaken. The use of technology in education always leads to a new era in which students will have the best faculty available from around the world. Here I would like to quote one of the example from our own institution. The reason being that this year we could invite number of international guest faculties for our students who delivered their talk, these sessions and lectures. Professor Ghali was one of those professors who delivered and interacted with our students. That could be possible because of the use of technology in education. Okay. Still, I believe that the quality of education is not only equipped by the quality of the faculty, but also the quality of the technical infrastructure and acquaintance of the faculty as important parameter of digital teaching technologies. Nowadays, we have seen that meetings can be conducted in the comfort zone of the homely secured environment against the pandemic. The real perspective of the new liberal education policy will be implemented through this. And recently, the government of India has came up with the new education policy, a National Education Policy 2020. So I believe in the future that through this new education policy, a student can take courses from any college or university based on the teacher quality or the course fees, regardless of the location, and will eventually graduate from the home institution where he or she has registered, or university where he or she has taken most of the courses, which results in the balance of economic principle of the good education. To make all this reality, a dramatic change in the thinking process is necessary, especially in the minds of the politicians, authorities who are going to implement the policy, students, as well as we educators. The selection of the faculty, after this pandemic, I think that selection of the faculty should progressively be linked to technological ease and technological eagerness. Because many of us will be agree with me that before the pandemic, many of us were not so technological ease with such kind of technological platforms and the different tools, technology tools available. We were just going into the class, delivering the sessions with the old tools. So similarly, the parameters for accreditation, we see that in India we have the different accreditation body like NAC and NVA. So I believe that we have to also, include somewhere this technology in the accreditation process. So similarly, the parameters of accreditation criteria need to be reconsidered. And all these measures, I think, will help to strengthen the online education infrastructure in the country like India and many others in long term. As we understand that COVID-19 has only boosted the adoption of education technology. The admission process towards the institution has now shifted to the e-model. In India, the forms are being created, filled by the Google Forms, and data entry through the Word, Excel sheets, conferences and meeting presentations through the PowerPoint has indeed secured the time and effort of the institutions. But the accessibility of these are at the time being limited due to the network challenges and lack of technical literacy among the people. The regular and end-term assessments have now been conducted through the Microsoft Teams and other educational platforms. Video calls can be made in college level exams to evaluate the students' knowledge. The placement of the students who graduated from the colleges are also conducted online. Interviews are taken in the online mode, and certain interviews are done with the COVID-19 protocol procedures. Online internship, because in this pandemic, no students were exposed for the internships. So in India, especially, I would like to let you know that online internships from the firms like Internshala and the governing bodies like AICT, they really had very tough challenges, but they worked very hard and they tied up with the company called Internshala, and they equipped the students to earn some pocket money along with their academics. So I would like to conclude over here. These are some of the changes which we have seen in Indian education system, and I believe that Indian education system become more agile after the COVID-19 pandemic. So I would like to conclude that the shift to online education has opened the doors of the technical world to our students. And I think it would be continued. Even if the pandemic will go and it will be abolished, even though this, the ratio of the blended education, you can say, that would be continued. So there could be our regular classes, 70% and 30% online education will be continued. So with the help of proper infrastructure and network development, along with the basic technical education, we can frame a new youth of splendid skills. As rightly said by Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest nor the most intelligent of species that survives. The one who survives in is the one who is most adaptable. So we must now adopt to the technology to survive the epidemical lag of the academics. With this note, I would like to once again thank you, Professor Mohammad Ghali and the Polytechnic Institute from Polytala for inviting us to speak on this such a wonderful platform and hosting this conference in collaboration with Dr. Jiva Patil B School. We are really grateful to you. Thank you, Professor Ghali.
Thank you, Dr. Professor Atul Kumar. And now I would like also to invite the Professor Jitika maybe to have some speech. Thank you for joining us today, Prof. Jitika. Yeah, time is yours.
Thank you, Professor Gali. It's really very pleasure to meet you again. Yes, virtually, though virtually, but yes, the life has to go on. And rightly said by Dr. Atul Kumar that there is a paradigm shift in education as well as the way we are dealing with, and nothing can stop us moving ahead in doing what we want to do for our nation. As the topic of this seminar is vocation for the nation. So I will be briefly representing my director, Dr. Amol Gawande, Dr. Devai Patil B School. A nation is already defeated if its soul is reluctant to individual vocation. There is no nation that will be spared for existing in its future to make its mark on global level. And hence, the role of education institutes become even more vital in this regard. The factor of individual vocation is beginning to be decisive for every individual. Once individual vocation will be emphasized, we will be able to speak about vocation for the nation. I, Ms. Gitika Jha, Assistant Professor, on behalf of Dr. Amol Gawande, Dr. Devai Patil B School, feel immensely privileged to be given an opportunity to represent our institute from India amongst the august presence of dignitaries and academicians from Malaysia, Vietnam, Pakistan, and many other countries. Dr. Devai Patil B School's vision is to achieve high standards in the field of value-based management education. And to achieve this vision, it believes in working on imparting a high-quality education and build strong cadre professional managers to participate in nation building and growth, and also developing a knowledge center which will be recognized for its academic pursuit not only in India but also globally. Dr. Devai Patil B School ranks 20 among 100 B schools in India and has also received World Leadership Congress Award in 2021. Dr. Devai Patil B School aims to create value-driven leaders, global managers, and entrepreneurs with strong conceptual foundations and analytical approach to help them to be the best in whichever field they choose. The aim is to innovatively address the needs of a modern India and connecting aspirations and realities to attain benchmark that are respected internationally. The Institute is gradually increasing its portfolio of activities to fulfill these objectives. The learning methodology is experiential with a focus on application of concept, interactive lectures, case study analysis, classroom projects, exercises, class simulations and games, group presentations, analysis of contemporary articles from referred journals, field projects, and company visits. Activity labs are some of the pedagogical tools used in delivering subjects. The campus is rich with state-of-art classrooms to facilitate various pedagogies, IT infrastructure for connectivity, and access to academic resources, among others. The students at Dr. Devai Patil B School are encouraged to explore their entrepreneurial ambitions, and for that, the Institute faculties who have excelled a track record of research and teaching provide the required support and guidance to the students. To our students, we offer intellectual depth, abundant resources, and individual attention. To our alumni, we provide a lifelong connection to excellence. To the world, we have a commitment to ethical and responsible leadership. We firmly believe that these vocations are going to produce works of art of universal value, technical and managerial expertise to its students, and also enrich the students on individual and professional level, and hence invoke a sense of calling for the nation and make them a responsible citizen of India. I thank the Director of Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut and its faculty members for organizing this thought-invocating 2 days seminar on vocation for nation. And it's indeed very important these days to inculcate the sense of responsibility, the sense of their commitment to the nation. And for this, the education institutes really has a major role to play. So thank you, Dr. Ghali and the team for inviting us at this very nice platform. And we wish the whole team a great success, and we are looking forward for more such collaborations in future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Jitika. And yeah, the greeting also from my director, Dr. Mufrida Jain, to your director, Dr. Amul Gawande. Yeah, perhaps after this pandemic, we could have, offline seminars together between the Politala and also the Wipati School. Okay, that was great from the Dr. Atul Kumar and Professor Jitika, and we still have Dr. Porter here. And Dr. Porter, Dr. Atul Kumar actually want to ask you something about Taiwan. Yeah, so yeah, before we have a discussion, maybe before you forget about the question, yeah, you could ask directly Dr. Porter about your interest about the Taiwan. Please, Dr. Atul Kumar.
Yeah, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, open your mic first, Dr. Atul Kumar. Okay.
I think he's not able to.
Yeah, already.
Just give me a second. Okay, that's done. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Porter, for such a wonderful speech on the topic, especially higher education in Taiwan. So I was eager to. I was quietly listening to your speech while I was driving to my office, and so you were open for some of the questions, especially that why students are eager to take admissions especially in higher education institutions in Taiwan. And my question is slightly different, as I have discussed and I have seen with you all that I've discussed that how the India has adopted the technology, especially in higher educational institutions during the entire pandemic, and how we come up with new solutions for higher education institutions in India. So I just want to understand what newer technologies and new tools for education delivery and new tools for evaluation of these students have emerged during this pandemic, especially in Taiwan.
So you're, let me make sure I understand your question. You're asking how have educational methods changed since the pandemic started in Taiwan?
Absolutely.
There's been a few changes. Some of them are significant for international students. For one thing, there is a quarantine for incoming foreign nationals. They need to have a health check at a certified hospital within 3 days after arriving, and and even with a clean health check, they need to remain in a quarantine for, I think it's 2 weeks. The quarantine, I think, is not not too unpleasant, because you know, it's not like you're stuck in an air-sealed hospital room for 2 weeks. The quarantine is that you simply must stay indoors. You cannot, so you can stay at home, you can, or wherever it is that you're staying, but you cannot go out in public places for 2 weeks. So there is that requirement. Recently, since I think it was the middle of May, when there was a spike in the number of cases in Taiwan, the government of Taiwan has instituted a nationwide quarantine of sorts. Classes are conducted online. Since the middle of May, all my classes were conducted online. The university where I teach has its own Google email, Gmail system. And so the university encourages professors to have all of their classes online using Google Meet, using the school platform. This is a little more convenient for everyone because, of course, no one needs to travel to classrooms. So you know, there are some benefits in terms of convenience. However, as a teacher, I really miss the interaction with students, and I feel that the educational experience is affected simply because there is no live face-to-face time between students and teachers. And as you may know, since many of you are educators, the experience of an education is really caught from the instructor. It's not taught. It's not something that you can learn from books or by watching videos or talking or texting online. It's from relationships. It's from the time that you spend with others, and you get a feel. You can sense the soul of another person and the challenges and struggles that person has experienced, and that also becomes a part of you when you spend time with that person. So the personalities in the educational system, the teachers, the professors, are very influential. And I do believe that part of the educational experience is lost when all the classes move online. But other than those two factors, things are progressing as usual. We still have classes, we still have tests and quizzes. I still have to grade paper. Of course, all the papers are written, and if I do, you know, in that regard, everything is the same. I expect that this requirement will be lifted probably towards the end of the summer, provided that there is not another outbreak. Have I answered your question? Is there something else you wanted to know?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. Can I ask you, Dr. Kumar?
Please, please.
When did you have me in the class? I think it's been many years, but you've changed a lot. I can't recognize you. Do you remember what year you took my class?
Unfortunately, I couldn't recall. Will you please?
I'm guessing it was maybe 2015. 2016, sometime around there.
And the place?
In Taiwan, probably the National Kaohsiung University of Science and Technology.
Oh, sorry. Actually, unfortunately, I have never visited Taiwan so far.
Really?
I was wondering if I could match you on any online platform. That was possible only for me, but I have never visited Taiwan so far. But definitely, I'm eager to visit. But if this pandemic will allow us to move. Because from last almost 1.5 years, I have not visited even my native place.
Okay.
In India, actually, my native place in India is far away from my place where I do work. So I have not visited even my native place from last 1.5 years.
Yeah, I think similar like in Indonesia, India still struggle with that, but very different in Taiwan. They could, what is it? Yeah, they ready for it, I think. And yeah, excuse me, we have here Ma'am Yanti. You want to ask something to Dr. Atul Kumar or Professor Jitika, ma'am? Or want to share anything about it? Yeah, because she is the expert about the the digital digital teaching in our campus. Please, Ma'am Yanti.
Thank you, Mr. Gali, for the opportunity. Hi, good morning, Dr. Porter and Dr. Kumar.
Thank you.
Okay. Actually, I don't have any good experience in teaching using digital, but I hear, I think some of you have same experience that if you want to teach online, we need the network. That's very important. But here we are in the rural area. It's very hard to connect all of the students in the same time here because of the connection. That's sometimes even when it is raining or when it is some kind of like that, the connection will be very poor over here. That's why sometimes if I say something to the students, my voice will be delivered to the students. There is a very big deal for me to, that's very hard to speak English, but the connection is not quite good here. There is very, I had to try hard to share and to deliver the knowledge and the material at that time. This is maybe only my problem here. I don't know about you over there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, to share your experience, during this pandemic and should teach online. And if you have some, more question, you can directly ask Dr. Atul Kumar or Professor Chitika or Dr. G. Porter. But please, maybe from Dr. Atul Kumar or Professor Chitika and Dr. Porter, if you want to answer that question. How about in your country? It is same. The most problem is the signal, something like that, please.
Okay, may I?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Professor Yanti, for sharing your experience. In India, we are on the same boat, you know. That is why even during my speech, I said that technology liberalization is an important issue, including internet connectivity, because still we see that student has to make a far larger adjustment because of the internet connectivity and the telecommunication infrastructure in many part of the India, because India is a very big country and having a huge population. So still in rural areas of the rural areas of India, student face the problems like you face in Indonesia. Okay, but still, as I said, that even one more factor which I do consider is most important while delivering this online education, the affordability of online system. That also matters, and the availability of the infrastructure like desktop availability, the softwares required, because Zoom, if we talk about the Zoom, it is also a paid one. We cannot have the meeting more than 40 minutes. That 40 minutes it is free, but apart from that, it is a paid one. So not everyone can afford, and the cost is around $300+ for a month. It becomes difficult for individuals to go for such kind of softwares as well. The education tools and online evaluation tools are also one of the issues in technology liberalization. So when it comes to the India, some of the initiatives which have been taken by government of India in the beginning of the pandemic, those really helped all the educational institutions as well as the students and teachers. Okay. They came up with some unique initiatives like called SWAM. SWAM is one of the portal, especially for online courses for teachers. Students are also allowed to take those courses. It is free of cost. In edX or Coursera or Udemy, you need to pay, and then only you can learn and earn the certificate. But at SWAM, it is completely free and anyone can pursue the courses. So they came up, and that happens only in the pandemic. And they also came up with some initiatives which we call NEET, an initiative of AICT, All India Council for Technical Education. They came up with a model called AICT and public-private partnership model, and through which they came up with spoken tutorials, free and open source education softwares. So number of open source education softwares came into the existence for the evaluation, and Moodle kind of one platform has also launched by the government of India through the AICT. That also helped a lot the educators in India. Okay, and we all know that eYantra is the one software which is launched by AICT. Google Classrooms were there, and government of India also came up with some initiatives, especially in e-education infrastructure through their different ministries and departments. So I would like to again recall them: National Knowledge Network. Okay, this is the network for the teachers. Okay, and NPTEL, that National Technology Enhanced Learning Project, also help the educators in India to teach the students during the entire pandemic, and National Information and Communication Education Mission of the Government of India, that is a very good scheme of Government of India. They also came up with solutions for the educators and the educational institutions around the country for surviving in this tough time of pandemic. National Academic Depository also one of the initiative where the educational institutions need not to assign the certificates to individual students. You directly deposit the educational certificates or the degrees of the students, those who had graduated. You can directly deposit in that depository, and students are supposed to create their account, and they can download, they can have. So these are some of the initiatives of the Government of India, through which we Indian educators could match the pace with the different challenges which have been which have been paused during this entire pandemic. I hope I could answer your question, even though it was not a question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Atul Kumar. Yeah, actually, that's really good explanation. I think Sam, in Indonesia also, we have the same situation, but I think that really different in Taiwan. They still, came to campus and then just wearing the mask, and then they still could have a practice. And I also got the question from Miss Rusmila, Rusmila, send me a text about that. How about in India or Taiwan, due to this pandemic situation, for the practice, especially like engineering, they need to practice it directly, not theory, but they need to practice, especially in our campus, also like for the vocational, several engineering, and then like they need to attend the class. And how about in India? They have like a simulators games or something like that, so they don't need to come to campus, or they need to come to campus, but like use wearing the mask and others like for the health. Yeah, maybe from Dr. Atul Kumar or Professor Jitika could explain about it.
Okay, I would like to take up this question. Yeah, a very relevant question asked on this platform. Yeah, what I would like to say is that need leads to the innovative techniques. Need is the driver of any kind of innovative techniques that we bring forth. So as far as India is concerned, for past 1.5 years, education institutes are closed, and students are asked to attend the classrooms from their remote places. But luckily, we were with time, and the amount that we need to pay for bandwidth or internet connections is the lowest, as far as my knowledge is concerned, is lowest in India. So delivering lectures has not been that tough, except for because India is a land of very diverse places. It's a huge population, and most of the students who attend the classes from the remote places belong to villages. So in this situation, the varied education that we provide, like engineering or medical courses, which really needs practical courses, practical exposure. So this has suffered to some extent, but yes, as Muhammad Gali sir he hinted, yes, many colleges who are the forerunners in India, like we have IIMs, we have IITs. They have developed their own kind of software, a simulation software through which they expose the students towards how the classes can be understood in a, of course it's a a kind of we can say compromised with the situation, but yes, simulating softwares are there to expose the students to understand the situation a little better than it would have been without the technology. So yes, there has been compromise with the situation, but yes, very very forerunners of the education institutes have adopted simulation softwares where teacher students are being taught about various technological needs as well as experiments online. Yes, this is a testing time for teachers as well as students as well, to how to come with more and more innovative techniques to deal with the situation. So yes, that's true, and we have very many spoken classes, spoken tutorials, and Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya initiatives given for the teachers to how to battle with the situation and teach the students online, maybe some practical courses as well. So there are many such courses here available in India. Thank you. I hope I have answered to some extent.
Thank you, Professor Jitika. Yeah, you answered the questions directly, and yeah, it opened our horizons about it. And yeah, actually now is the thanks to the technology, because yeah, we could do it anything. And yeah, thank you also, Dr. Dwi Patidi School already invited me to have some lectures last month. Yeah. I have several times to teach your student, and it was a really amazing. What is it? I could imagine that because of the pandemic, I could teach in India. Yeah, maybe someday we invite both of you or of here to have classes also in Polytechnic Negeri Tanah Laut online by this platform. And actually, I would like to have all of you more, but we still have running off the time. But before I end this seminar international, I would like to invite Dr. Atul Kumar to tell us about his organization. Actually, it is a good organization to have an ecosystem in the world, yeah, to collect all of the scholars and then the researchers and to join, have freedom about the education system, and then about research and anything. So please, Dr. Atul Kumar, maybe you could help explain about the organization, and you are the one, the president of that organization. Please, Dr. Atul Kumar.
Thank you, Professor Ghali, once again. So as all you know that Professor Ghali, he is running one of the organization called Ghali Foundation in the similar line. In India, we are running one of the organization called MERC Global. MERC Global, we call it MERC Global, and it stands for Management Education and Research Consortium Global. Management, Education and Research Consortium Global. So I would like to speak a little bit about the Management, Education and Research Consortium Global. It is founded in January 2013, along back by one of the charitable trust. And this MERC Global, it is a pure not-for-profit organization. And we are to establish a bridge with the scholars, academicians, corporates and institutions, schools, universities, and through their different departments through the various activities. So we are into different activities called publications. We do organize seminars, workshops, conferences, training programs, FDPs, faculty development programs, management development programs. We do provide consultancy for accreditation in India and even abroad, NAC, NBA and AACCCV accreditation processes. So we consult for all these. We consult for different allied services, especially copyright applications, patent applications, and many more other activities. So this MERC Global is registered in India under the Society Registration Act. in under government of India. And especially when we talk about more global board and members, it comprised of different scholars, academicians, and corporates, IT professionals, legal advisors, and financial consultants around the globe. We have our registered office in India in a state called Uttar Pradesh. It's a North Indian state. And we are with the vision to build a repo by supporting scholars, academicians, corporates, institutions, different departments of the universities, private research firms, and government research bodies working in the field of management, education, and research in accomplishment of their objectives. We want to flourish ourselves, or we want to position this Merck Global as a global platform of excellence in management, education, and research. So this is brief about MERC Global. I would like to let you all know about MERC Global. You can visit the website of MERC Global. Okay, thank you, Professor Ghali. You have done the honor. I was supposed to type the website, so you have already done that. Thank you so much. So all are being requested to visit the website. If it attracts you, please get in touch with us, and we will definitely have a good collaboration in future. So we are open for the different areas and collaborations in different areas in research, accreditation, and having some joint conferences, collaborative seminars, and training programs, many other activities. So please visit our website, and if you feel it attracts you, it entice you, please get connected with us. We can work together, and we believe in the collaborative work. It's time of collaboration, not the competition. So the world is the global, we call it global village. So now, due to the technology, and we should not say thank you to the pandemic, anyway, but we should really appreciate that due to this pandemic, many of the new technological initiatives have been taken, and this world become a global village, where even I can now interact with Professor Porter, Professor Ghali, and Yanti ma'am. So this is what the beauty, and we are open for the collaborations. So please get in touch with us. Thank you. So this is what brief about MERC Global. We have already shared the website, so please visit our website. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Atul Kumar, for that explanation. Yeah, I'm totally agree with you. This time for collaboration. So that's why we want to have that ecosystem that we could do it together about research, about anything. So it's time to us to have a good education globally. And yeah, I think we're running out the time, but it's okay. Yeah. Please, I would like to have your powerful conclusion from Dr. Atul Kumar and also Professor Chitika, and after that we will have what is it to finish this international conference for today. But tomorrow we will have another keynote speaker from Pakistan, Dr. Muhammad Yassin, and also from Vietnam, Dr. Pham Thi Hong Yen. And yeah, we will definitely meet again tomorrow. But for today, please, Dr. Atul Kumar and Professor Chitika, to have powerful conclusion for this international seminar. Please, it's time.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Professor Ghali. This is indeed a very powerful platform to deliver the message what we as educators, researchers, academicians would like to convey to the participants. adding to what Dr. Atul Kumar has said, a global village. So another word which comes to my mind is glocal. The world has gone glocal. Where sitting, yeah, absolutely. Sitting from here, we can interact from Professor Potter in Taiwan, Ma'am Yanti from Indonesia, and Professor Ghali. So yeah, it's I'll go with the theme of this conference, that vocation for the nation. It's really the time, and also like I had earlier said that the need is the driver for any kind of innovation. So it is a time to embrace the breakthrough innovation in creativity and the research works that is required in these days, because and thanks to the advances in technology that has happened over last few years, which has helped us survive. Otherwise we couldn't have imagined how the world would have been without this 4G technology, without this internet technology. The economy would have gone haywire. I mean, it would have been very difficult for businesses to survive. So it is all because of the technological advancements. So it is a time of paradigm shift. It is a time for paradigm shift in all the sectors of the economy, in all the sectors of education, to understand how to balance the physical as well as the educational needs of the students as well as the society. So as the education institutes, it lies upon us, how innovative are we, how innovative do we become, maybe through training courses, maybe through showing extra efforts to bring something new to the world, to the society, so that we can together collaborate and then bring something new which will help us survive, not only during this pandemic but also after. And this is the beauty, maybe what I think, the world has gone global, and Professor Ghali can teach our students, we can teach their students, and there can be transfer of knowledge, transfer of the efforts that we are taking to build a nation. And of course what I envision is a white globe, a world without boundaries. And this has been possible, I think, because of pandemic, I guess, because of Zoom platforms, so much that we are sitting here and talking to each other, sharing the knowledge. So yes, my vision of white globe is really going to be successful with the help of collaborative work, collaborative teaching, collaborative research works, conferences, seminars, which is going to help the society at large. Finally, thank you so much for inviting us for this thought-invoking conference, and we would like to be a part of it ahead also. Thank you so much. From Dr. Diva Patil B School.
Thank you, Professor Jitika from DY Vipati School from India, and Professor Atul Kumar, Dr. J. Porter. And thank you all for being here today. And the last, sometimes in this world, you don't have to understand to do something, but do something and then you will understand why. Vocation for Nation, hopefully this section can expand our horizons and can expand our knowledge about anything during this pandemic. And I give it back to the committee. Please, you could share the video lastly before we all up leave
Pendidikan
this
vokasi
platform. Thank you so much
SDM
for
sarjana.
this time.
Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Pendidikan vokasi menghasilkan SDM sarjana terapan dan diploma yang memiliki kesempatan kerja lebih tinggi. Sebagai salah satu pendidikan tinggi negeri di Kalimantan Selatan dan satu-satunya pendidikan tinggi di Kabupaten Tanah Laut, Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut, pendidikan tinggi vokasi berakreditaskan B, menjunjung sebuah visi menjadi politeknik unggulan dan berdaya saing nasional. Be a winner, sebuah tagline untuk menjadi pemenang baik secara kualitatif maupun kuantitatif. dalam persaingan pendidikan vokasi di Indonesia. Pasti, profesional, aplikatif, siap kerja, terampil, dan inovatif. Bersemboyankan moto kerja keras, kerja cerdas, kerja ikhlas, dan kerja tuntas. Politala, life skills for the future.
Yeah, they have.
Terbentang luas pegunungan, elok sungai laut daratan, fantastis tanah laut kita, damai nyaman sejuk alamnya, indahnya alamku, dapatnya negeriku, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy, hijau pegunungan, menghias daratan, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. Indahnya alamku, damainya negeriku, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. Hijau pegunungan, menghias daratan, fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy. 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 Fantastis tanah laut, make your life happy.
Okay, that's all for today, and see you tomorrow at the same time and then the same link and the same platform. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Muhammad Gali from Politeknik Negeri Tanah Laut. I thank you.
Thank you, Professor. See you tomorrow.